Howdy, y'all. Gonna be a good day. Hopefully, everybody's gonna agree with me on that one. Just a second, we're out. We're just gonna say it real quick. Let's see, what are we gonna say? We're gonna say. There, that'll work. Anyways, howdy, y'all. A little bit of coffee here. Ooh, hey, look, it's branded. It's an old mug. To go along with my old mug. Howdy. Wow, one person already in. This is amazing. Real quick, reading a book from Half Price Books, but still a decent book. Guy by the name of Steve Perry. If you like science fiction, they're decent. Now, real quick, let me get the legal portion out of the way. I call it the legal portion. I guess I'm not legally stuck with making it. If you are under the age of 21, if you are easily offended, please take this opportunity to not continue to watch me or my channel. I'm pretty much going to offend somebody. It's who I am. If you get offended, it's on you. You set out to do it. If you're under the age of 21, legally, YouTube wants me to not allow you to watch my channel, of which I don't care. But from this point forward, if you are continuing to watch, you are either saying you are A, over the age of 21, B, not easily offended, or C, both of the above. Thank you very much. Let's get this show on the road. Anyways, back to the straight up statement of howdy, y'all. We are going to be smoking a cigar that was gifted to me by a certain friend of mine named Mark. It is a it's not going to show it. Criollo or Criollo? Hard for me to tell you. That is a nice, big, meaty Toro size cigar. And it does have a little bit of a flaw right there. That's alright. That part is right there underneath that band that was right at the foot. Bands at the foot are not really a major problem if they tear up the foot a little bit. You should be able to smoke just fine. If it starts splitting, keep your finger down near it until it really starts to burn. You get a lot of that with even the top brands of cigars. I'm again using my small punch. Just all a little twisting motion. That's all it takes. You'll pull off a little perfect circle, which you can then drop into a pipe for later use. That pipe will be sucking down maple and rum later. Little little brand that I found by Sutliff that is actually fantastic. Now, Toros are a bit longer than what I'm going to need for today. And that's fine. That means I'm going to be watching plenty of Chad's show while still smoking this cigar. For anybody who doesn't know who Chad is, you'll find him at Yardism, and probably here in a little bit you will be seeing him make a few comments. If you don't see him, that's alright. I'll be on his channel making a few comments. And I'm suffering from some allergies today, so no, this is not COVID me sniffling. There you go, Doug. Have an elbow shot. All right. 6.5 minutes in. No comments yet. Let me make sure that the comment box actually works. Should be popping up shortly. My statement to everybody. Howdy, y'all. All right. Let's see how this goes. I like your style, TX Piper. By the way, where in TX are you? Howdy from Houston, by the way. Yeah. I don't claim to be the only Texas Piper. I just claim to be the voodoo. She's not out here.
Okay. You can take that towel off that plant.
My mother-in-law has a few plants out here that will die in the cold, and it got below freezing last night. Fort Worth, Houston's too hot. You can't tell me Fort Worth doesn't get hot. Yes, sir, I know about Fort Worth. I lived for about 2 years in Weatherford, and I covered everything from the Jerry Jones Mausoleum, also known as AT&T Field, all the way out to, God, you name it in Texas, I was there. Two years I covered it. From Weatherford. But don't get me wrong. If you have to choose between Dallas and Fort Worth, I'm going to choose Fort Worth. Kingwood, oh, that's right up the street. Well, it's right up the street on the north side of town. About 60 miles from me, but if you know where Kingwood is, then you probably know where NASA is. If you know where NASA is, that's only about 7.5 miles up the road. Oh yeah. Believe me, if I have to choose between Dallas and Fort Worth, I'm choosing Fort Worth. Something about Dallas where you have to be a San Antonio Spurs fan, and you have to be a Dallas Cowboys fan, and you have to be a what is it? Stars, Mavericks, Rangers. Yeah. No. I will stay a Raiders fan. I will stay an Astros fan. I will stay a Suns fan. And I will probably stay a Capitals fan. Best part about the Dallas-Fort Worth area was it was a real short drive over to a certain NASCAR track. That NASCAR track is not in Dallas. Really, it's not in Fort Worth either, but it is a lot closer to Fort Worth than it is to Dallas. Oh, believe me, I agree with you totally. Dallas puts a premium price on everything. And quite honestly, with the way they've got their roadways set up, it's like New Jersey. They have one product that they know you will pay for. Out. You just about cannot get out of Dallas without paying for it. You're either going to take a toll road or you're going to be stuck in traffic that's horrendous forever. Yeah. Been there a few times. They've got crazy names for freeways. The Mixmaster, the High Five. They don't tell anybody that's not a local what that is. Though from the description, I'm betting you can guess. Oh yeah, Padron 2000. I like the Oliva V's. I'm definitely there with you. My father's kind of touchy. My father's, if I'm smoking a My Father right now, I'm either smoking La Bijou or one that came out recently, which was the Cabanas. Interestingly enough, and I've said this many times, I am a wet palate smoker. This cigar is going to be nice and slobbered on by the time I'm done. Which normally I will not smoke a Lancero or a Torpedo. Does not matter what maker it is. All I'm going to do is make it horrible, plug it up. It's going to be terrible. The My Father Cabanas, I can smoke their Lanceros and I can smoke their Torpedoes, which for me is amazing because the amount of flavor you get in the Lanceros and the Torpedoes is superb. La Gran Oferta. That's a decent stick. So this one is an HC El Corojo. I did not look it up on the internet because as a gift, I don't look gift horses in the mouth. I smoked them and I set out to find all the truly enjoyable pieces of a cigar. Whether it be, oh, the construction's great. or oh my God, this is just an absolutely terrific cigar. I'm not gonna lie about it. If it's a horrible cigar, it's a horrible cigar. But this one so far seems to be pretty damn good. I will be doing a little more research into it so that I can try and find out exactly who makes it, where it's made, where it's produced. Probably be trying to find out a location where I can get some. Now, first 3/4 of an inch in, am I going to say that you're going to be like, oh my God, I have to have this cigar? Not really. Now, if the price point is low enough, this might be a real nice budget stick for a Toro with a nice, I mean, if you can see the ash well enough, the ash is like concrete. That's beautiful. So construction wise and how it's rolled and flavor point at present, it's pretty damn good. I've had better cigars, don't get me wrong, but depending upon the price point that I find for this, have I found a better cigar at this price point? Well, I don't know what the price point is, so at present I'm going to stay off of that assumption. Mostly I don't assume anything about a cigar until I've actually really done everything I can to prove or disprove that it's a fantastic cigar. Oh, you can share anything you want to now that I'm actually smoking it. I will say that it's got a slight sweetness that's a natural tobacco sweetness. That's not a infused sweetness at all. And it's got a nice mellow creaminess to it that is not, it's not super smooth, but it's not real harsh either. I will tell you that it's got a little bit of Nicaraguan or Dominican somewhere in there, because it's got just a touch of pepper, just a touch, not like okay, 20 packs for 60. Yeah, that's not bad. So am I right about the Nicaraguan or Dominican? And I'm going to say it's grown in volcanic soil. The best way to tell that something's grown in volcanic soil, at least as far as tobacco goes, is you will get a certain peppery. Those minerals come through, they bring a spiciness that is undeniable. Depending upon the amount, it's going to be more pronounced or not. And this is nice. It's not overpowering. It's that back of the tongue. Yes, Nicaraguan. I thought so. Now, okay, there's a lot of cigars out there that are Nicaraguan. But you can get Nicaraguan cigars that are not peppery. If you find a cigar that is produced from Jalapa Valley or Jalapa Valley, you are going to find a caramel and smooth creaminess and very little pepper. And that throws a lot of people off because they'll be looking at, it says it's Nicaraguan, but there's no pepper. I I got a smudge on my glasses. I must have touched it. Hey, there it goes. Now, I'm not catching any leather. Right, right. So Padron, actually, they use... Huva Ilta, Boris. Which, for him, that means good evening, I believe. Though, let's see. It's got to be 9 or 10 o'clock at night for Boris right now. Well, closer to 9:30 or 10:30. I keep forgetting, is it 6 or 7 hours? I think it's 7 to Finland from here. So that would be 10:30. Boris, you are a night owl. Oh God. 11:10 p.m. Wow. All right. Ouch. I was off by a full hour and a half. Wow. So yeah, these HC Toros, they're not bad. They're not bad, and at a $60 price point for a 20, I'm gonna say bundle of 20. That's not terrible. It definitely comes in as a budget stick that I like to call them golf sticks. What makes a golf stick a golf stick? It's a stick that if you set it down, you swing at that little white ball and it goes off into the distance, and as you're watching it, you accidentally step back and stomp on your cigar, and you look down and you realize, oh crap, I just killed my cigar. You then immediately go, no big deal, light another one. That's a golf stick. Now, if you're some sort of golf pro and you can afford somebody to hold your cigar for you, they're carrying your clubs and all that, well, you know, at that point, you can afford whatever golf stick you want. But I'm not Michael Jordan, and I'm not betting $10,000 on a hole. Yes, I've actually seen him do that. Physically right there saw him do that. Yes, Michael Jordan. The Michael Jordan. That guy. That plays basketball better than just about anybody on the planet. He can golf stick with any stick he wants. Absolutely, TX Piper. One of the things that really got me into smoking pipes as a standalone instead of just a way to clear off a cigar. And by clear off a cigar, I mean I would take my cigars and I would jam them down into my pipe, and then I would finish them off. Waste not, want not. But what got me to the point where I would smoke a pipe on a regular basis was going to things like Renfest, which is Renaissance Festival, or some of these outdoor festivals. Well, if you light a cigar, you're going to be walking around with a cigar for a while. Whereas if you light a pipe, you can load as little or as much into a pipe as you want. And I can get a pound of tobacco for less than $40. Yeah, very few times can I get a pound of cigars for $40. So what I look at there is, if I knock the pipe out, it's no big deal. I haven't really lost any money, not a big serious dent to the checkbook. And you look for a blend in these situations that is a great room note, but still enjoyable. Now that cancels out a lot of the normal blends that I would like, but you get something that everybody loves the smell of, and nobody's going to complain even if you're walking around in a crowd smoking a pipe. Damn it, cats, come on now. They're acting like it's gotta be let in right. It's locked. I can't do nothing about it. Mom locked it. You're gonna have to go around the other way. I can't open the door. Yes, I've been locked out of the house. Well, I've been locked out before, and it's only from the front door. I can't let you in. There's no way to get in there. They're so used to me letting them in. Howdy, Todd. Good seeing you today. But yeah, so if you go to some open air concert or something, and you're sitting up on the hill, which most open air concerts have some sort of hill type venue, and you load a pipe and you're happily smoking it, and it's something like my current fun little blend, which is Sutliff rum and maple. Everybody who smells it's like, oh man, that smells wonderful. There's going to be enough cigarette smoke, and there's going to be some of that green tobacco. Orlick Golden Slice, always a good blend. My big furry cat wants in and the door's locked. Howdy, Steph. How are you doing today? Ooh, yeah. Changing out a ground cable. Luckily, that's not actually all that difficult of a task, but if they're located in bad spots, it still doesn't always just... It's not always just the easiest thing in the world. Yep. 2 strikes against Steph and Skip. Boards and Chiefs. Yeah. Well, I'm a Dodge fan myself. Sorry, Todd. Tins doesn't work on my channel. Not my fault. I'm not set up that way. Trump, you might want to go back around the house, buddy. Yes, my big furry cat is named Trump. I'm not going to pick him up right now. He doesn't look all that happy with me because I'm not opening the door. It's a good way to get bit. So it's above 60 degrees. All the way up to 63. I'm only wearing this because there's a little bit of a wind blowing through. As you can see, it's well unzipped. Drinking Weller's, having a smoke from some stuff that you can't buy. Steph is getting bougie on us. I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm enjoying a cigar. All right. Finally, my cat left. So yeah, I'll rate it as a decent stick. Loading up some Chelsea Morning. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Just think, 1 week from now, we'll be having Christmas. Hey, those catch-all blends where you've been tossing them back and forth, some of those are some fantastic stuff. I see Steph is, as per normal, a little overly excited about Christmas. I call it season's greed instead of season's greetings, because a lot of people get very greedy about stuff. Ah, snooker. It's another sport I like. I like billiards in all forms. That's very typical with kids, though, Steph. Very typical. Well, it might have a little more rustic than any other blend that's in there. You know, it just kind of depends upon when you get down to the low levels, how much is in there. I think I stopped caring about Christmas pretty early on in my own personal life. Mostly because most of my family lives up in the Dallas area. Little town of Garland, in case y'all are looking for it. I wouldn't suggest looking for them. They barely acknowledge I exist. No big deal, just saying. But we would always travel from all over the place to Dallas for Christmas. And I was the youngest one. No kids around there to play with. Nothing to do. Everybody else lived around there, except for me and my sister. My sister would hang out with my youngest female cousin, because they were within, I think, 8 months of each other as far as age, so you know, they had a lot in common. I just got to sit around and be bored. You know what it's like for a bored kid, small? I always ended up in trouble because I was bored. Nothing to do but bug the hell out of adults. Now I know that I was actually just bugging the hell out of adults. Back then, I just thought I was looking for something to do other than stare at them. It's alright though. I grew up. I got out of it. I probably don't get any pipes or tobacco other than a hat that was gifted to me by a lovely woman named Steph. Not much that's handmade, though I kind of already unwrapped that present, so, but that's okay because I'm using the heck out of it every time it gets below 60. I'm kind of hoping that my wife took my suggestion and told people, look, just order a hobby block from Vermont Freehand and get it sent. Not because I think I'm some sort of great carver, but I would like to give it a shot. I mean, doesn't that kind of sound like fun? It sounds like fun for me. Oh, goodness. I haven't gotten a carton of smokes for Christmas since I left the Army. That was in the 90s, so yeah, I can hear you there. Honestly, I have not heard from Chad, but he was on Mike's, Briar Blues live last night, and he was chatting, so I'm guessing he's doing okay. As far as Cliff goes, Dale Piper has heard from him. He made a video stating that. Dentist Dr. Cliff, he's doing okay, but he's fighting the good fight. Damn COVID. Me, I won't get COVID. Even if I did get COVID, it won't get me. Psoriasis. Overactive immune system. That's all it really is. I catch a bug. The bug looks to let loose as fast as it can go, because it's like the old story. If I got kidnapped, they'd be sending a demand back to my parents. How much do you want to have him back? Well, I'll say I didn't have it because I didn't lose taste. I can still taste just fine. I don't remember losing the sense of taste or smell at any time this year. But if I did get it, as I said, my immune system would knock it down quite a bit faster than anybody else. Could be that I'm just too mean. I ain't guaranteeing that, but it could be. So I guess the new theory is we've got to get Martin to 70. Hey, by the way, did anybody watch to see if my Raiders won or lost last night? I actually didn't. I missed the whole game. Partly because I'm afraid they won, and partly because I always hate watching them lose. Skip probably knows. Being that he's not rubbing it in, I'm guessing that the Raiders won last night. I had several options to watch it. I just choose to not. It went to overtime. Oh, goodness. So both teams were trying to lose. I will say gin and tequila is actually a damn good gift. All right. Raiders lost. That means they're picking a little higher now that they've lost certain key games and can't make the playoffs. Well, give him a hug when he gets home. I'm sure he will get home eventually. By the way, somebody keep me informed when Chad starts his show. It normally will pop up on my little thing here, but oh my God, you live in Fort Worth and you're an Eagles fan. Oh, horrible. People hate you for no reason at all. So, funny story. There's a Chili's that is just outside of downtown Fort Worth. And I was there for the opening game. Now, this is a few years back. Yu Darvish was pitching for the Rangers. And I don't remember who was pitching for the Astros, but that was the opening game. And they were in Dallas. And Yu Darvish almost got a perfect game. It was either 8 2/3 or 8 1/3 inning. No hits, no runs. And then Marwin Gonzalez hit one right between Yu Darvish's legs. And I'm sitting in this Chili's. And I'm watching this game. And that ball goes out there and Marwin gets a single. And out of my mouth comes, yes! And all these people turn, start looking at me like I am Satan himself. It didn't go well for him. But yeah, the hometown fans really were trying to give me an earful because I was cheering for the Astros, and I was like, hey, at least it was not a no-hit. No, the Astros didn't score a single run in that game. Yes, the Rangers put on a masterful display in that game. And, yeah. All right, so Boris's team won. Skull! Something like that. I cannot picture Steph as a Steelers fan. That's fairly interesting. But okay, I mean, I don't have a bad feeling about the Steelers. The one team that kept them from three-peating twice was the Raiders. What's not to love about that? Though every time they start showing the top 10 most unbelievable plays ever in NFL football, I just go ahead and turn that off. Because I know here it comes. The immaculate reception. Steelers, Raiders. Damn you, Franco Harris. Nice. All right, Scrap Blanket is on Steph and Skip's Instagram, doing a fundraiser for the food bank there in El Paso. Nice, nice. All right, TX Piper, we will definitely catch you again later. Hopefully we will see you again. Chad's show will probably be starting before too very much longer, so by the time you get back, we'll be over there. Granted, his is a 3-hour show, so you'll have plenty of time to catch us all there. Now, if you really, really want to piss off a Dallas Cowboys fan, you just have to ask about the 2 worst plays ever in the Super Bowl. 2 worst plays in the Super Bowl? What do you mean 2 worst plays in the Super Bowl? Look up Leon Big Cat Lett and his I can't take it to the end zone even though I'm going to run it all the way back down the field. 2 different times. One of those lessons where I keep telling people, you run to the end of the end zone, you don't run to the front of the end zone. 2 times he could not get a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Both times, Dallas Cowboys. And I think it was back-to-back years. But I could be wrong on that. I will say that both of them, I was in the military at the time, so I didn't really get to watch it. Didn't really care. I actually accepted an extra duty just so that I didn't have to watch the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. See, they've even named those 2 plays. But yes, in the top 10, Leon Lett has 2 of the worst plays in the Super Bowl. Guaranteed you will hack any Cowboys fan straight off just by reminding them of that. Oh no, Boris actually watches American football. He's nice enough to call it football, and European football he's nice enough to call soccer, so that those of us here in the Americas actually understand what he's saying. I would understand if he put football or football, which is F-U-T, football. Not that everybody's going to agree with me, but I'm actually a Man U fan. And here in Houston, we have the Dynamo. They do fairly damn well with what's called Major League Soccer. They're actually the winningest team in Houston. Well, back before we lost the Arrows, because the Arrows were the winningest team in Houston. Love me some hockey. Okay, sure, it was the D League, but if you're not going to play in the NHL, you might as well play in the IHL. And Houston has never had an NHL team. More's the pity, because a city this size could easily support an NHL team. I was hoping that they would get the Coyotes when the Coyotes came up for sale last time, but that didn't happen. Though I hear that Fertitta tried to get them. And being that he's got massive amounts of money, I could see Fertitta getting an NHL team if he ever really set his sights on it. Alright, getting down to nitty gritty on this cigar. It's actually picking up a little bit of a harsh note. Not terrible, but enough to make you go, hey, wait, this last change wasn't great. And man, that band is on there tight. Had to go to the knife. It still didn't come off. Slid it off though, so we're good. Starting to nub up on me. I like all sports. And if the Europeans want to call a sport something and it confuses Americans, well, there's a couple of hundred nations in this world, and almost every nation except for America calls soccer football. Because you play soccer with your feet. You play football with your hands. The only reason they call it football in America is because the ball is 12 inches long. Being that most of the world does not go by the Scientific American Engineering, which is SAE, units of measurement. They use the metric system. So of course it doesn't quite make sense to them that we call football football and we call their football soccer. You don't play football in socks. You might wear socks, but you don't play it in socks. Rugby is more action and harder hitting. That's the major difference. My favorite team for rugby is the All Blacks. Why do I like the teams I like? It's not about the names or about their location. It's all about, I saw some game either live or it was the only thing on, and I started cheering for one team because I got to see them more often. Or in the world of hockey, I'm a Capitals fan because every year in the Olympics, or every time the Olympics comes on with the Olympics in the winter, I always pick a player that I think has outplayed everybody else on the ice. And 3 straight 4-year spans, it was Ovechkin. And then it wasn't Ovechkin because God, who was the kid? He played for the Blue Jays. Howdy, Piper69. How are you doing today? I want to say Sidney Crosby, but I know it's not Sidney Crosby. Anyways, he played for the Blue Jackets or Blue Notes, and then almost immediately got traded to the Capitals. So he ended up playing for the same team I'd been cheering for 12 straight years. So here it is, 16 years worth I've been cheering for the Capitals. I guess I'm a Capitals fan. The Suns had my favorite player as far as basketball goes, which is Charles Barkley. See, now, Boris understands a whole lot more about the football, which is soccer, and I guess Aussie rules and rugby is very similar. I actually have a lot of friends in Australia, which is part of the reason I like that style of rugby. But the full contact rugby / Australian rules football is, it's a constant until it has to be, what do they call it, the scrum. It's an attempt to get ball from A to B, and then you sometimes actually have to try and boot the ball through the goalposts. I don't know all the rules. I know I like watching it. It's exciting. It's full contact. It's lots of action, steady action. It's not a lot of set plays. You get out there and do your best. That's more my kind of a sport. The guys are about the same size physically. Now, I will say that in rugby, you get a whole lot of people that are more lineman size and linebacker size. You don't get very many people that are receiver and safety size. They're too small. They're not going to stand up to the hits. American football is kind of like a specialized thing where they get hired to be a position player instead of a player. Howdy, Skip. Go ahead, tell me about how my team is a bunch of losers. They'll be picking higher in the draft than yours. I'm okay with that. As I stated yesterday, I hope my team loses out so that they get a fairly high draft pick. Only one other team I want to see them beat is the Broncos. Mostly because in the long-standing tradition of AFC West, I hate the Broncos. I'm not sure who the Chiefs say their biggest rival is. Probably the Raiders. I'm pretty certain who the Chargers say their biggest rival is the Raiders. I am absolutely certain that the Broncos say that the Raiders are their biggest rival. Yeah, I guess that's true. Aussie rules are on a weirdly oval field. I say weirdly. At the center point, the field is shaped almost exactly like the ball. Only game I can think of where the field is oval instead of angled. Hockey's kind of rounded in the corners, but that's because a square corner, when you get slammed into it, is probably going to be pretty hectic. Could you imagine a bunch of guys skating into a corner to get the puck? Those collisions would be epic. I'm looking. I am looking. Cricket fields are oval. Okay. I was not aware that cricket fields were oval. Now, cricket is a crazy game. Matches sometimes last 3 and 4 days. I don't know how you can enjoy a game that can't be done in a decent amount of time. So cricket is, you just kind of got to make sure that they don't hit the ball into your wickets and knock your little biscuit off the top of it. Oh, quick games that only last a full 24 hours. I could imagine one of those happening here in Houston. They'd call the game after about 7 hours because everybody's dying of heat exhaustion. 4:03. I know Chad's going to be starting any time now, so somebody just try to keep me informed. That's if Chad's actually going to start. I cannot imagine trying to play cricket in a tennis court. I mean, that would be a really short cricket pitch. Would it be called a pitch? The field being played on is quite often called a pitch, which I've never understood why it's called a pitch. Doesn't hurt my feelings none. I guess it's got a traditional statement of it was called a pitch. I know that football, such as it was, which Americans call soccer, it started off because peasants weren't allowed to have horses and play polo. So football, soccer, has its roots from back in polo. And when 99% of the population was owned in some way, shape, or form, indoor cricket. With a 2x12 bat. Oh, my nose is itching. Mostly because my allergies are kicking. But I can breathe. let's check YouTube again and see if Yard is still not on. Weird sky out today. Overcast. 7 people in. Howdy, y'all. Whoever just recently showed up. This weird overcast is making me tired. Bobby! Howdy, Bobby. With another new name change, Moog. Not that that's an issue. I'm guessing Chad is not feeling well. Yeah, that is kind of a southern thing there, Steph. Well, I will definitely be looking that up, Boris. As it is, the football I love, American football, that's no longer even played. They've made so many rules that it's no longer like what it was. Yes, Bobby, the weeks are definitely flying by. Christmas is next week. Literally 7 days away. I guess 8 if we consider that today plus 7. Steph, Skip, are y'all going to be on your live tomorrow? That's coming up right around noon Central Time. All right, all right. And yes, Steph, felt like summer drug by completely slow. Okay, so right now I'm using an app called Prism, Prisim, and the symbol looks like a black triangle with a design that's on the inside of it. And they will let you go live. Now you got to set it all up, but Oh, come on, Steph. You can just layer up underneath it. It'll be fine. But yes, I am definitely on my mobile device. Not possible. Everything's possible. Not comfortable. Okay. Not feasible. All right. Impossible. There is no such thing. In fact, there was once a famous statement from a president, and I don't remember which one, but he said the most certain way to make sure that something happens is to tell somebody from Texas that it can't be done. We're kind of hard-headed. We do what we want. So does anybody have Chad's phone number? Am I upside down? I do not believe that was a George Washington quote. Mostly because back then it was Tejas. I believe that quote came about when somebody said that going to the moon was impossible. And I don't know if it was Kennedy or Johnson, or maybe it was before Kennedy. Eight people on. Howdy, y'all. I am not set up to fill in for Chad today. I don't have any more anything to drink. And while I know that it's possible that Chad might not be on, if he's feeling under the weather, I'm down towards the end of this cigar. And I know if I hang out here for 4 more hours, my wife will come out here and kick my hind portions up around my earlobes. I'm not really ready for that. So I'm going to call it a show and hope that Chad comes on pretty soon. Not because I'm wanting to get out of here, but mostly because I can do without having all of the craziness. Bobby, the best thing I can tell you is if you do it the first time, it gets easier from then on. So alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say y'all be good to each other. Take care of one another as best you can. Take care of yourselves. As always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, my friends, and I will see you soon.